Assalamu alaikum, my name is Salim Siddiqui and thanks for watching this continuing series on the HotConflict.com website. We're talking about the unseen world and giving disclosures and information, and like I always tell you, you hear some strange and weird wild stuff, and I'm talking about the Sunnah, or the method of understanding the life of the Prophet Muhammad, and giving it to you in a tale that is going to disclose all kinds of information, because there's weird wild talk on the internet and amongst many of the different people from inside of the governments of all the secret communities to all the esoteric societies to all the light communities and light workers and all my spiritual brothers out there within the earth, on the surface of the earth, and within the skies. We're talking to people on all levels and all dimensions at the same time, and we're telling a strange and weird wild tale at this very moment, and we're describing what happened to the final prophet of the light, where we said that we are telling a tale of every single prophet, and therefore each prophet plays a certain role, and we've gotten to the part of the last messenger, and in his tale should be the indication of what's going to happen. And we just talked about his ascension process, and we described his ascension, and we said it was in physicality, and we showed how it was connected to all the other prophets in the story, and we described why it is important that it was in physicality, because there was some difference of opinion amongst people on the last prophet of whether the prophet Jesus, son of Mary, died and then resurrected or ascended, and what actually happened. And there's difference of opinion, and there are some Christians who claim one thing, and there are Christians who say another. As Muslims, we are telling you plainly and simply that he wasn't killed, nor was he crucified, but many people did think that was the case. But there were those who understood that he went through an ascension process and did witness that process for him. And we said that the prophet then went on his ascension process in physicality and then proved it. And we talked about some of the spiritual concepts behind the Temple of Solomon and being sent on the ascension to 7 levels of the heaven, seeing the higher Kaaba and the connection to sacred geometry with the Kaaba and the Kaaba in physicality, and the connection between the lower self and the higher self, and that if there is a higher self for a structure of light, then of course there is a higher self for you. Well, of course you kind of should know that, especially Muslim brothers and sisters, when you know that Allah, the Lord Most High, is going to show you not just what you have done, but everything you thought of doing, everything you could have done, everything you might have done. You will be shown on the day all of the other possibilities, all the other realities, and knowing that, it should help you understand that if there is many realities, you should be able to switch between them. But this is a conversation for another day. We're talking about the story of the prophet and the importance of the prophet's ascension, and saying that one of the most important fundamentals that many Muslims have not grasped is that if you truly believe in the final messenger, just like if you truly believed in Jesus, son of Mary, they both told you you could ascend. Now we said different people saw different things. Now we have 2 specific prophets that have ascended. One who has ascended and is going to come back at a later date, being Jesus, and one who has ascended and returned in physicality and told us about it. And the documents to support that are numerous amongst the Muslim sources. So we have an ascension pattern established by the final messenger. Does that mean that those of us who believe can ascend if we choose to? Is there a limitation on your belief? Or do you believe that you love the messenger enough that you could follow his ascension sunnah? I leave that decision up to you. But we go back to his life at the hardest moment. Something happened. Something that was about to make a great change. When the earth was at its darkest, when the believers were lost and wishing for a change, when the believers were hoping something would be different, when the community was against them and the boycott had gotten terrible, and when the moments seemed so dark, a community from the north, from the city of Yathrib, hearing the truth in this land, came and said, we are willing to welcome you to come with us and teach your teaching to our people. We recognize that you know the truth. And so a migration occurs. A migration occurs of believers from Mecca, the city of light that has been mired in the darkness, to Medina or Yathrib, what will now be called the city of light, the city of the prophet. Oh, my brothers and sisters of the light, did you not know that the city Medina means the city of light, as established by the final light worker, the Prophet Muhammad, to be the capital of light for the final messengership? Sorry to be so vehement and tell you this, but it's so clear once you know the story, and I know many of you didn't see it, and it's nice for me to be able to tell it to you that way. So the new city is created, and the new pattern is established. Now, one of the things that happens is Muslims have to go in hiding because they don't want to be noticed. They don't want to be killed. So they slowly start traveling north. And the Prophet himself is wondering about what he should do. And it is at this time, this critical moment, in the light and the dark, where things can go terribly bad. We know that Jesus, son of Mary, approached this moment and knew that it was time for his ascension, and that things changed on the earth, and the crucifixion pattern began to be seen by those who saw it, and that Jesus, son of Mary, ascended from the earth, and we got led into a period of loss for many people, but a period of life and light for those who understood the truth. Well, something was about to happen for the change in Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him. The community was hunted. And just at that moment, the leaders of the tribes of Quraysh, of paganism, of tradition, against monotheism, against the law of one, against the truth of Allah, against the fundamentals that we are telling you, against the story of light, against the sacred pattern of geometry, against the truth of all of us that are one, are telling you, they've tried to kill him. And so they gathered together, all from each tribe, an assassin with a spear, that all planned to hunt him down at night and assassinate him together so the blame would be spread. And that night, the Prophet's cousin, Ali, radiallahu anh, slept in his bed as a decoy. And at a certain moment, the Prophet, understanding the pattern and matrix, recited a verse. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. Place in front of them a shield or a barrier, and behind them a shield and a barrier, and cloak them so that they don't see. Oh, my brothers and sisters, the power of invisibility or cloaking for a being of the light is not to shield yourself, but it is that others are shielded from you because you have raised your vibration to a level that they can't perceive you. You have raised your light so light that they don't even see you. You are raising your vibration higher, and they are barred from seeing you. Beings of the light, we do not shield or cover ourselves. A'udhu billah. No, we show ourselves. Nothing is hidden from us. We are of the light. We are of the one. We see all that is below us. We see that which is going on. We raise our own vibration, and so the Prophet recites this verse and raises his vibration, and all those who plan to hunt him, he walks through them, invisible to them, raising his vibration higher. And he and his best friend, As-Siddiq, they travel south. to evade capture. And they hide in a cave. And a spider forms a web and shields them. And they don't get found. And they travel south for some time. And then they travel north. And they get north and they are greeted. And the city is granted to the prophet. And a new foundation is started for the light. And the final messenger is given his place to establish the pattern of light upon the earth. And a new dawning and a new age is founded. And a new calendar is established. And a new age as the final seal and the final messenger is established on the earth. And for the first time, the sacred flower of life begins to form upon the earth. And the heart of Islam at the Kaaba comes into focus. And Islam, the true oneness and message and belief of the one true God, begins to spread. But that's not where we are in our tale. We said you want to talk about some of the spiritual meanings and some of the spiritual understandings of first contact. And we've been talking about other beings from other dimensions, and I've been telling you a certain story. And I've been saying that the prophet's life is part of the map for how we act. But in the larger tale that I'm telling you, some of the secret meanings are there for you to read in part of what might happen. And so they're in the process of the migration of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam that marks the founding of the Islamic calendar upon the earth, that marks the foundation of the new timeline of all Muslims who believe upon the earth, is the migration of the messenger to the city of Light Al-Medinah. And the establishment of the final pillar of Hajj, the sacred pilgrimage at the heart chakra, the most beloved place to our Prophet Muhammad, the place where he was born, the city of Mecca. It is an interesting tale, is it not, brothers and sisters, that I'm weaving? But you said you want to know about other beings in other dimensions. You said you want to know about the grander things. You said you want to know about first contact. Well, I'm telling you, I've already told you. Let's go back to the story and let's get into some specific details. We talked about the prophet's ascension. But we said if we are giving the Sunnah or the example of the prophet being the last messenger, then his methodology and what happened to him must also be a roadmap for all believers in the light for what will come to them in the future. So now let's start with the process of the migration. The migration of the prophet of light is an analogy for the migration or ascension of all of you, my brethren of light. And it is a blessing on my noble prophet, and it is an honor on behalf of me and all the Muslims to present to you this tafsir or explanation and tell you what it means. Oh, my brothers on the earth, oh, my brothers within it, and oh, my brothers above, here is the tafsir of the migration of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. That when he first traveled south with Abu Bakr to decoy the disbelievers, this is often used in third dimension conversations about using the common way of understanding of people in third dimension reality against them. Strategy, war, third dimension reality. Now, from a spiritual point of view, it implies for those of us of the light that we will encounter those from the north, not those from the south. That going to the south is not the right move. Going to the north is the right move for all of you. Now, what that means is, for many of you who have made physical moves in reality now, we are talking about a physical movement of the prophet from the south to the north. Now me, when I told the story of truth and the stories of the prophet, it was almost a year ago. And I was living in Houston, Texas. Currently, I'm speaking to you from Toronto, Canada. I have actually physically moved north. Many of you from the Lightworker community have also moved north. Many of you are also now in Canada, especially of those of you who were in the United States. It's a little funny tidbit, but I'm also here in Canada. Ha ha ha. For those of you who throw a little laugh for any dark reasons. But the prophet goes south and then goes north. So that could be an indication of some of you that you might want to travel north in physicality. That's one thing. But on a deeper level, the migration then occurs and is established in Medina, the northern city. Now, those of you who paid attention to my discussion on Noah and being lost at sea, if that is your ascension path or the Noah character life journey, then you understand the difference between going south or going north, and why I suggested you go north if you're a light worker. Now, the things that I tell you as a person who is following the Sunnah of Islam, you will find that many other light workers will tell you the same thing, and they will all recommend that if you do have to travel, you do go north. But on a greater than third dimension reality, we also understand that at a spiritual level, south implies underneath and north implies above, in the way we think, in the way we understand things. So therefore also in the interpretation of this migration is that we are going to have communication and interaction with beings of the south, yes, but first we will have contact with those from the skies. So am I saying we're going to have first contact and it is going to be those from the skies? Yes, I am. And oh, my brothers and sisters from the light, by the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, it is decreed, as it is decreed on many planets, that different people assume ascension in different patterns. Sometimes people do have interaction with their inner earth, as the inner earth exists not just on this planet, but on many planets of existence. And sometimes beings ascend to beings in the stars. It depends on their life journey, and sometimes it is both. Here it has been destined from the story of migration of the prophet that we will be contacting those from the stars first. But of course, the Ummah of Muhammad is not limited to just those from the stars. But from the migration pattern we see, it will be an encounter with those from the stars, those from the north, those from above first. Now, secondly, we get from the migration pattern of the Prophet Muhammad that once the city is established, a new era or new age or new reality occurs, a new timeline, a new shift. Now this corresponds to what all of the people of the light are telling you. But I'm saying that the actual new Hijrah, Islamic calendar that began at the time of the Prophet is a correlation to the ascension, to the next world, to the next level, to the next reality, and that a new timeline will exist for everyone. And because of this, it is now my responsibility to explain this process of ascension that once the Prophet in physicality got to the city of Al-Medinah, he took those called the Ansar, the helpers, those who accepted Islam from the north, from above. All of those who migrated to Medina were welcomed. And with each new believer from the new community, they were paired with a previous believer from Mecca, from the old city, from the old place. Those who migrated too were paired one-to-one with those who just believed and learned or came to understand the truth of the light. Now, this was not set up in animosity or resentment or to solve some hatred, but at a larger scale to solve problems in a global and grand complex for the new empire and new capital of the light upon the earth. Now, if you understand this pattern of migration of the Prophet being equal to the ascension, then I am telling you with glad tidings and peace upon all of you of the light that I am saying it is by the Sunnah of the Prophet that I am confirming and giving glad tidings. Oh, my brother Alex Collier, who speaks on behalf of the Andromedans, I am confirming to you as your brother, peace and blessings of the light be upon you, that it is true that you and others and many of the others from the ancient tribes that are within the earth, and many from the lightworker community who have been channeling messages, have told you that this ascension pattern is going to be different. It is going to be a gathering and a grouping of one-to-one. And oh, my brothers of the light, I speak to you from the earth, and I say to you, oh, brothers of the light up above, do you not witness now that this ascension is different than what you have seen before? Do you not witness by the Sunnah and the way of the Prophet Muhammad that people are not dying? They are not leaving their bodies. The souls are not ascending. They are staying here. For those of us who understand the ascension process, and those of us who are from the ground crew, those of us who have been on ascensions before, those of us who understand the vibration and frequency, oh, ground crew and brethren of the light who are hearing me, hear me now and hear me clear. If you feel this vibration or frequency, if you recognize who I am, if you know the truth when it is spoken to you, then you know that what I am saying is true. This ascension is not like any other ascension before. They are keeping their bodies and they are staying here upon the earth. And it is because of this that my brothers and sisters of the light are getting so excited. And they have even disclosed both those who are upon the earth in their own way of discernment and those who are above in the skies, that this ascension is going to be grand and magnificent, and beings of the light will be united with brothers and sisters here on earth, and one-to-one, as my brother Alex calls it, a mentoring, muhajir wal ansar ala millat Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, one helper and one migrant, one being of light and one ascending master of light, gathering together one-to-one in perfect brotherhood and unity, as our Prophet told us, as is the way of light workers, as is the pattern of ascension, as is the way that has been decreed by heaven. And my brothers and sisters of the light above me, I can hear them laughing already right now with the truths that I am revealing and telling you, oh, my brothers and sisters of the light, do you not realize that the time is coming where this is going to occur, as was proclaimed by the method of the Sunnah, or the way of the Prophet Muhammad upon this earth? This is a glad tidings to you who are above, that are confirming that heaven has decreed from high above you that the ascension process this time will be different. The ascension process this time will be different. And brothers and sisters, one to one, will be brought together, as was taught to us by the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. This is something that I am giving glad tidings to my brothers and sisters of the light who have been promoting this and proclaiming this and who have read the signs above. And there are those who have not seen these signs even above this. And I always tell you, my brothers and sisters, the next level above you and the levels above you, everybody still has free will. Beings still have the way of interpreting and choice on their own. And more beings of the light are coming to see the pattern form and giving you signs upon the earth in some of the crop circles and showing you some of the frequencies and resonances that you need to understand, both in the pattern and frequency and vibration and in the symmetry and pattern and chaos of the actual life journey itself. And so they're starting to see this pattern. So I'm confirming on behalf of those of you who seek the truth by Allah and His Messenger Sunnah that the companionship will be one to another. Al-Muhajir wal-Ansar, and those who ascend from this earth who are here, whether you are a Waqid or a person who is born here or any other being who is on the noble path or comes here to experience the ascension. And oh, my brothers and sisters of the light, hear what I'm about to say, that before the process of 2012 happens, anybody can experience the truth and anybody can raise their vibration as the earth changes and we go through the process of change. And so I am confirming things from above, and I am confirming things from those in the disclosure community and the UFO community, and I am confirming things from the lightworker community, and I am confirming the channeled messages from my brothers and sisters of the light, and I have confirmed the welcoming of the NESARA, and I am confirming the joining of those who are ready to meet their brothers and sisters in openness and be mentored in love and companionship, as we know. And I have confirmed that those who are above you do not seek your devotion or your worship, but look to you as beings of light and seek for you to open and spread your truth and realize the magnificence of who you or we are. And I am just one of those people telling you the tale according to the Sunnah of our Prophet. Peace and blessings be upon him. Now you've begun to understand what it is that we are talking about. We have confirmed and welcomed the NESARA, and we have confirmed the joining of the brothers and sisters of the light. And we're getting ready to complete this tale. And we have understood that the Sunnah of the Prophet or his life journey is an example for us in the actual patterning of ascension. But there's a lot that we haven't talked about yet. But my glad tidings of all those above from the light, peace and blessings be upon you. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.